Sue, for being here, for stepping forward to serve, uh, for your inspiring family story. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I know how much you'll do to support working families who really are the backbone, not just of Nevada, but of this entire nation. They make our tourism, their hospitality, our entertainment economy possible for my home state, and I look forward to working with you. But we have a lot of work to do, and I like to focus a little bit on cyber and STEM workforce because one of the things I really enjoy talking with you about is apprenticeship programs, particularly in the IT and cyber fields. We tend to think of apprenticeships as just relating to building trades because they've worked so well there. But I believe that we really could expand the model to strengthen the pipelines in the critical IT and cybersecurity industries. This is going to give more young people the chance at these good paying jobs or folks who want to be retrained for jobs. I've introduced bipartisan legislation to help create and expand registered apprenticeship programs in cybersecurity, and I look forward to working with you on that when you're confirmed. So can you talk about some of the work you did in California in this field and how you'll work to scale these programs at a federal level? We all care about apprenticeships. How do we expand these opportunities in our states?
Yes, thank you very much for that, Senator. I would say that this topic of workforce development and job training programs and how we invest in those who need jobs came up in nearly every one of my conversations with the senators on this committee. And so I look forward, if confirmed, to working with everybody on these really important issues. In terms of apprenticeships, you were absolutely right. I loved our conversation about it. And I think, I've certainly found in California that it is one of the strongest ways we have both to meet the needs of employers and to create pathways for individuals who might not otherwise have the opportunity into good jobs. And as you said, apprenticeships in the building trades have really set the gold standard and created an opening for us to look at how we utilize the model of learn and earn, how we help people who otherwise wouldn't be able to stop working or to get training to train for good paying middle-class jobs. And I think a big part of making apprenticeships work is the partnership, is creating alignment between employers, the employees, educational institutions, community-based organizations, and to create systems that really support the needs of employers and the needs of employees for jobs. I know I've talked to apprentices who got out of a domestic violence situation because they were given a chance to be an apprentice, who lived in homeless shelters, but through an apprenticeship found a job working at a high-end hotel as a cook. I mentioned high road training partnerships earlier. We have a hospitality training academy, a partnership with with Unite Here Local 11, which has trained individuals for hospitality jobs. And so to your point, Senator, about cybersecurity, I think that's one of those in-demand jobs. They're good paying jobs, and their jobs have already been identified as, if we're not deliberate about diversity and access for communities, then it will not happen on its own. So apprenticeships is a way for us to make sure that we create equal access to these jobs. And I've certainly talked to apprentices for whom their time in school and high school, it didn't make sense to them why they were learning about right angles or measurements. But when you put them into an apprenticeship where they're really learning how these things apply in the real world, it makes a really big difference. And so I'm very supportive.
I want to build on that really quickly with the minute I have left, because women have been hit the hardest in this pandemic. You were talking about it, apprenticeships, retraining people or training people, but I want to touch on returnships. This is where we create pathways for mid-career workers who return to the workforce. We know this pandemic's really impacted women, their ability to return, maybe after having to step away for childcare or other caregiving. I have a STEM Restart Act that's going to create a national program that would bridge the gap between workers who are more likely to be long-term unemployed and underrepresented in STEM. And so I would love to talk to you about this idea, not just of apprenticeships, but returnships for that mid-career worker who really needs to retool for a variety of reasons, or jobs now that may not even come back after the pandemic.
Absolutely, Senator. Thank you so much. I think there's a spectrum, right, from pre-apprenticeships to what you're talking about for incumbent workers and upward mobility, all very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really look forward to working with you, and my time has expired.
Thank you, Senator Rosen. We'll turn to Senator Marshall.
I thank the chair and welcome as well. I think my first question, as potentially to be the Deputy Secretary, Department of Labor, your state of California, like our state of Kansas, really struggled with fraud in the unemployment insurance. Really struggled, continue to struggle.